Hello and welcome to this episode, and in this episode we are discussing config profile switcher. So to access config switcher, let's go to the file menu, and from file menu we can create, manage and config profile switcher. The default profile that we have is my first profile, and now we want to create another profile. But before that, let's go and bring some changes to this profile. Now let's go and select GOM player as a auto restart process. Here I will add GOM player to the list so that GOM player is always running in the background. Let's click OK. And now you can see that GOM player has launched, and even if I try to close it, it will always run. Now let's minimize GOM player and let's go and save this profile with config profile switcher. I will create a config profile, I will name it GOM, and I will use the current settings for this profile. Now my profile is GOM profile. Now let's go and change back to my first profile, and now here on my first profile I will remove GOM player as an auto restart process. So I will remove GOM player. Let's click OK, and then it's removed. But now you can see that we have two types of profile. One is the first profile, which is the normal profile, and one is the GOM profile, which always tries to launch GOM player. Here on my first profile, I do not have GOM as a running process, and that's why I can close it and nothing will happen. Now let's go and make a rule for the config profile switcher. Here in this config profile switcher, I will specify a process, and that process is going to be firefox.exe. And I'm telling process Lasso that if you find Firefox running, then switch the config profile to GOM. And then I will add this rule. Let's click OK. And now every time if I try to launch Firefox, the profile will change. As you can see, now we are in my first and the default profile. Let's go and launch Firefox. Firefox is launched. Now we can see that we have switched to the GOM profile, and because of that, GOM player will also launch because it is a keep running process for this profile. And even if I try to close it, it will restart once again because we are in this profile. Now if I try to close Firefox, the profile will automatically switch back to my default profile, and then I can close GOM player as well, and it cannot be restarted. So now you can see that here in the config profile switcher, the config profiles include all process rules and settings. This feature switches config profiles when specific or specified processes are run, and when a matched process later terminates, the prior config profile will be restored. So as we saw that whenever we close Firefox, the default first profile is launched. But if we try to launch Firefox, the profile will switch to GOM profile. And each config profile should have the rules to undo any changes made by the other profile. So the first default profile should include the rules that it says that GOM player is no more a keep running process, and then we are able to close GOM. And that's how a config profile works. Stay tuned as we explore more features here in Process Lasso in the coming episodes.